Hey Kerbal first friends, how's everybody doing? And here we go with another episode of Playing Fight Club. This whole idea has actually been working out really well for me. I have tons of stuff that I can make videos about, so I'm very happy how this has turned out. And I'm going to let you guys in on some of the stuff that I've been planning and have decided to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the actual fight videos from the introduction videos. So it would be entirely too long if I was going to do 2 or 3 battles, as well as, oh, here's the plane, it has this, it has that, it came from this place and that. The videos would be hours, and then I don't want to do it. And you guys know I'm 20-minute phobic. When a video starts getting 20 minutes or longer, I start looking for an out, because, I don't know, nobody's going to watch a video for that long without getting bored and want to go somewhere else, and I don't want that to start happening. So this one is going to be one of those videos where I present craft and talk about ideas rather than the fight. The fight will be the next video. So the first thing I'm going to do is show some things that I've learned from airplane design. The majority of these lessons I've learned while trying to beat interest plane, which for the record has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in Kerbal Space Program. Some of this is things I've discovered in my own designs, as well as things that I've shamelessly ripped off from Inter design. So the first thing that I did, which is a modification of what Inter does, is this thing. This is my pod. This is how I start every craft. Inside it are a battery, because you always need power for, run out of gas or shut down your engines. You always need a probe core, and you always need the flight computer and weapon manager. Now, the reason why I have it saved as its own thing is it's a pain in the butt to have to come in here and adjust this however you want, Lower the gun range, tell it how many missiles you want it to fire, come up with a lower takeoff speed so they get up into the air quicker, etc., etc., etc. But by having this saved on a pod and just, load it, I have all my planes programmed, ready to go with all those little boring necessities on the inside. I was actually thinking of putting the chaff and flares on the outside of this, but then it would mess with the wing placement and all that kind of thing. There's a little too many eggs in one basket. So I still put that on the plane individually, one at a time. Again, what I have here is a control wheel, because almost every plane will always have a control wheel, the battery, the probe core, and the electronics. So this idea I got from Inter and modified it a little bit and made it my own. I put this on and then I start seeing what else I put on, So I select, which radar I want, which engines, how many engines, all that kind of thing. Now in trying to make planes that can take out Inters, I came up with a lot of very interesting tests. I tried to make very small and powerful planes and very maneuverable ones with stability and I started playing with different wing designs. Now, one thing that you'll notice of the last 2 planes is they have AMRAAMs, but they don't have sidewinders. And the reason for that is sidewinders aren't that effective. The AI goes to them first before the AMRAAMs, and almost at any angle that a sidewinder is fired at you, unless it's dead on or perfect 90 degrees from above, that the flares pop up behind you and don't fool it. And barring those 2 circumstances, the sidewinders almost always chase a flare and miss. I'm thinking the times that a sidewinder actually impacts something that isn't a flare is less than 10%. And this is made worse by the fact that the AI fires sidewinders first. So it'd have a beautiful shot for an AMRAAM, but since it has a sidewinder, it'll fire that instead of the AMRAAM. And I eliminated that by just not taking sidewinders. Most of my planes will have 4 or 8 AMRAAMs, and that increases their chance to hit, because AMRAAMs don't go for flares nearly as much. After that, I was experimenting with ways of making a controllable craft with good maneuverability so it could basically shoot down Inters. And this is the same old one. That took me into some really weird places with designs, placing canards in the back off of the tail, which I've already done, but I did more in some of these ones. Compound wings that cover the plane. I was trying to make really powerful planes, but they were also very light. I don't know if it's just personal preference or if it works out better, but the 50 cals tend to be better than the 20 millimeter ones for me anyway. I don't know if it's just they're less random, like they're more precise, and if that allows the AI to shoot things down better. Now, one thing that became clear sort of quickly for me was for this particular format, for what I'm doing here, there has to be a very big difference between how I've designed planes now and how I design planes in the back. In the past. And the reason for it is I'm designing a plane to be flown by the AI. I'm not designing a plane to be flown by me. I came to that conclusion by trial and error and failing to shoot down interest plane a million times. And I went back to his comment on that video where his planes wiped the floor with mine. And in the comments he said he designed it and didn't like the way it flew at all. But as he fought it against other planes, he saw that 80% of the times it would win. And that kind of stuck out in my mind for a while, and then I figured it out. His plane is designed accidentally for how the AI wants it to fly, not how he wanted it to fly. He didn't like the way it flew, but the AI does. So I watched the way that his plane flies, and I also watched why, or tried to analyze why this little ugly thing did as well as it did. And the AI likes planes that lose control, go into flat spins, stall out, but can be recovered from. Losing control, stalling out, and regaining control let the plane evade because the one behind you is not going to lose control as easily. So that's one of the things that I learned from this one. This one would be getting chased by a bigger plane that was better designed, because this thing's a piece of crap, and it would outturn itself and start to flat spin and flounder in midair. The plane behind it would not lose control, and as such, zip right past. Then this thing would regain control right behind it and tail it till it killed it. Unfair, I know, but I mean, that's how the AI works. So I started saying, okay, maybe power and control aren't that important. It's more of letting it lose control and regain it at the right time. So I started putting more control wheels on him, started putting what I would consider to be too many control surfaces on a plane that's this light, and I eliminated the sidewinders. I came up with this. It only has one tank, one intake. The radar's in here. It has way more control wheels than you should have. It has the chaff, it has the flares, it has big wings, simple one-piece wings. Try to keep the part count low and the maneuverability high, and it worked. I mean, I saw it, and in the beginning I thought, nope, this is not going to work, this is going to suck, because the computer was putting it into flat spins, stalling it out all over the place, overturning and having to recover, and while about to hit F9 to reload it again, taking a loss, before I noticed it had 4-0'd interest plane easily. I think in 4 straight fights, I lost 1. The first one was a 2-0, the second one was a 2-0. The third one is the one that I was about to give up on. Interest planes ganged up on one of these and shot it down, and the last one had both of interest planes on its butt. One of interest planes shot at it and blew off the missile rack and the landing gear, but didn't take off the wing. And with 2 missiles, lopsided weight, and 2 guns, it shot the other 2 planes down by itself. I was astonished. I wish I'd recorded it, but I've been fooling around with this so much and haven't been recording everything the day. I've missed some pretty amazing fights. So this is right now my main plane. Ugly and uncomfortable to fly, even for the computers it may be. It kind of doesn't lose. So when I have a real challenge to throw against it, I'll probably throw these things. If not, I'll use something a little more conventional, a little less wacky. This one I'm probably going to use a lot. Or this one that I've actually had a lot of good results with. This one you guys have already seen. This is old. So anyway, other than that, I've also received some submissions. So a gentleman whose name, if I tried to pronounce, I probably wouldn't be able to, send me this. He says it's from Russia with love for us, so great. Beautiful plane. Huge. It's called the Sotka 101, which I googled and found that it was a discontinued high-speed bomber from the Sukhoi, Craftworks. Doesn't look much like its namesake. I mean, the wing pattern here is, but the cockpit's different. The wing design is different. This thing does kind of remind me of an Su-27. The way the cockpit comes through the wings, the double vectoring engines. So I guess it's like a hybrid of what it's called and an Su-27. It's big and beautiful. I really like it. Thank you very much for sending this in. This thing, I will probably have it fight this one. These two will be fighting in the next video. Then another one was submitted as well, named simply Smalls. The gentleman that sent me this video, I think had a link to a YouTube channel. I don't know. One of the two emails that was sent to me with these crafts had a link to a YouTube channel. I will include that in the description down below. Give the designer some love. So he's got a single sidewinder on the right, a machine gun on the left. It has two little wing sections and mostly just control surfaces. For extra style points, he used an asymmetrical control surface to put back here. So this is all sorts of asymmetrical coolness. The email said he built it hoping it won't get shot out of the sky immediately. It's small enough that that's not going to be a problem. It will not get shot out of the sky immediately. It's going to be very difficult to hit this thing. Now I see flares, but I do not see chaff. And that could be a problem. Oh no, yeah, there it is. There's a chaff launcher right there. Okay, cool. The reason why I thought that could be a problem is because since I'm relying so much on AMRAMs, and AMRAMs don't get fooled by the flares that much. But yeah, this one I'll probably fight against something that's not too big either. Like either this one. This is not very big. I don't know that the 6 would be a good one because they're both so tiny they'd probably fly around each other and not hit each other ever. But my original drone, yeah, so probably this one was the one that's going to fight against that one. So those are the submissions for this upcoming episode. I'm not going to name these episodes week this or week that. I'm just going to call it episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as many episodes as I get. I don't know if any of you guys watch Pro Mortal Kombat. I do, though. I watch Mortal Kombat X all the time. And two of my favorite personalities from the Mortal Kombat scene are, the brothers, the Neil brothers, Ketchup and Mustard. Amazing story, those guys. One always plays Cyrax, which is a big yellow robot. And one always plays Sector, which is a big red robot. And they're twin brothers, so they were nicknamed Ketchup and Mustard, and they've just kept that persona forever. So Ketchup and Mustard have their own channel, and they have just this online playing games, and they're like at episode 75 or something, or 40 something. So I know that kind of works, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to just make it episode 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And I guess every odd episode will be craft introductions, and every even episode will be the actual fights. I'll try to see if I can get both fights in next episode just in one shot. This one versus Smalls, and my drone 4 versus the Russian plane. And of course, any of my designs that really do stand the test of time, that I use over and over again and get a lot of wins, I'm probably going to have a contest, or just, not a contest, but ask a question for you guys to help me name them. And, give them proper names. These numbered drone things are going to get kind of boring. In making drones over and over and over and over and over again to fight Inter's craft, I made it to 17 before I decided to just erase the ones that completely and totally sucked and start from 0 again. Of the double digit ones, this is one of the only ones that still worked and survived. This is drone 13. So yeah, for the craft that work really well and I decide to keep, we will have to start coming up with names for these. So yeah, 15-minute video, that's pretty good. So look forward to this video, to the fight video pretty soon. I'm also not going to put these on any kind of schedule. I'm not going to space them out. So with this plain fight club idea, more submissions, more fights, we might have a fairly active schedule. I might get to make, 2 or 3 of these a week. The more emails y'all send, the more stuff I have to present, and the more stuff I have to fight, the more fun we can have. So again, thank you guys very much for watching, and remember to fly safe. Bye.